question of the day. What does simplicity mean to you when you think of a simple game, right? We're always sometimes looking for those games that are simple, quick filler games, we call them sometimes. What is a good example of a simple game? Is it something that doesn't have a lot of options or choices that you just kind of go through the motions? Or is it something that's small, packs small, plays big, that still has a lot of variety and options that still plays pretty quick? Probably alluding to what this game is, either one of these two options right now. This is Supervillain, this galaxy is mine. It's all about building secret facilities. Let's take a look right now at this 2 to 4 player card game, plays 30 to 60 minutes, and see, is it a good, simple type game? Is it more complex than I'm giving it credit for right now? Well, here's the setup for Supervillain, This Galaxy Is Mine. It's actually pretty basic. Everyone draws 2 cards from the minion deck, so this all stays the same for player count no matter what. So 2 minion cards here. So we have the 500 number at the top, 500 million. Isn't that funny? It does it as hundreds of millions instead of just 500. There are 2 parts of this kind of card. These are the minion mobs or the minion ops. You're using it one of 2 ways. Basically as a resource in order to build these projects, and then down here as a kind of take that card or a boost for yourself. We'll talk about that more in a minute. On your turn in the morning, if you have an asteroid pointed, it will hit its target. So if you're pointing at this person, it will hit that target. Notice it's an arrow. Good stuff. Good art hidden in the cool art there. Practical arrow. Or if you're pointing over here. If it hits, you determine the hits, take away what it hits, all sorts of stuff. Now then you will draw a minion card at the beginning of your turn. Then you'll start either a new project or launch an asteroid, which means you put another asteroid out to point at someone, or you turn it over and use it for its project side. You'll flip it vertical if you're using it for a project. This is how much it takes to build this. When it's built, you'll get this bonus. Then on your turn during the action phase, you can use it for this. Whenever it says whenever down here, it's a conditional statement. You're playing to 5 points on here, and that's essentially it. You are going to do this first part, decide whether you're going to use it as a project or for an asteroid. Then on your turn, you're going to take actions. These are the actions that you can do. You can do things like play 1 mob card, which means you'll use your minion card for the top, the points up top. You can just play 1 unless it says boosted. Then it says play 1 minion ops. Same thing, you can play the bottom part of a minion card unless it says swift, at which point you can play any number of those. You can shoot down asteroids of other players by discarding minion cards. It's 2 minion cards per asteroid. Other than that, it's 3 if they're charged, and a charge token would be this. It just means it's a better asteroid. You can use the abilities of your projects and secret facilities as well. Evening, you're going to discard down to 7 minion cards and pass. When you do the project, you discard your mobs that are on there. So once you finish the project, you're going to discard the ones that are on there for the total amount. So this is 1,000. Boom, this becomes active. You now have access to this. First person to get 5 points wins the game. Now, I will say one more thing here before we get to final thoughts. The rulebook is very, very, very good. It's one of the best rulebooks for a simple card game there is. It was read through and read through and read through and edited quite a lot. You can really tell both from just the art, the overlays, the drop-ins, the frequently asked questions, all that sort of stuff. This is one of the best rulebooks I've ever seen for a simple card game like this. If more people took this style, I know it's a little thick. Honestly, it doesn't need to be this thick, but the reason it's this thick is because there's no room for ambiguity. You read this, you know exactly how to play the game. Every keyword, everything is talked about. It's broken down very clearly. You can't go wrong with a rule book like this. Plus, it's pretty funny. So let's take a look, final thoughts, what we think of this game right now. So that's Supervillain, This Galaxy Is Mine. It's actually pretty simple, pretty basic, right? I mean, in the morning, if you have an asteroid out there, it destroys the targets. If you don't have an asteroid out, well, then you're still gonna do this stuff, right? You're gonna draw the minion cards, and you're gonna draw either to use this as an asteroid with the arrow pointing at who you're attacking. We'll talk about that in a second. Or you're gonna choose to use it as a project. So anytime a game has options for what a card does, I love it. I'm already a fan. I love the idea that this has an arrow on it. That little simple thing of having this arrow point at who you want it to be aimed at, I love it because it clears up any ambiguity of, well, I said, who did I target? You point at them, and boom, it's set in stone. You have a chance to deflect that, destroy that. I love that sort of stuff. I also like the idea that you turn it vertical. That tells you the cost. And one of the little cute things that they do everything in like hundreds of millions. So even though it's 900, it's 900 million, which is just a funny little thing because it says there's countless minions that you can throw at this project because they're dispensable, right? Like Napoleon. So you put this card out here as a project, then instead of an asteroid, you'll do all your stuff like we talked about. I love the idea that there are multiple uses for the cards as well with the minions. So stacking this, sliding it under here to show that you have the minions being used as a mob, which are basically resources, or you can play them as the minion ops down at the bottom, which is so cool. I like how simple the rules are. You can only do that one time unless you have boosted or swift. The cards just have nice little keywords, first person to 5 points. I like how that works. One of the other things I really love about this is the art. The art is really cute. It reminds me of Bucky O'Hare. It's not that like style that we're dealing with where every single cartoon now looks that certain way. It's more almost classic 90s art, and I'm a big fan of that. So kudos for the art. Gameplay is very simple. It's very easy. It is a little repetitive though, so there's that. Obviously the downside of any kind of card game like this is it's a little repetitive because you're just going to keep doing the same sort of thing. Take this, take that, until somebody gets 5 points. I do like that it ends when someone gets 5 points. Now there are obviously some take that things that will go up and slow that down and all sorts of things like that, but you kind of know what you're in for when you get into this game. So I do think this is a pretty neat game. If you can find it, definitely check this out if you're into quick filler sort of card games that really take. Now this was a little bit longer filler. I will say that 30 to 60 minutes does stretch a little bit long if you're thinking filler, but very little table space. Easy to understand rules. This is all the components right here. You have the deck of project or asteroid cards, the deck of minion cards, reference cards, and a few tokens. That's it. I love that though because it doesn't take up a lot of floor space when you're trying to get this game to the table. So check this one out if you want a quick card game. Supervillain theme, I like that. The art's cute. The idea that you're using millions instead of just single digits is kind of neat as well. But I'm Brian Drake here on the Dice Tower. Make sure to check out our videos here on the Dice Tower. There's a link in the description below where you can find all of our reviews here. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram at Dice Tower Brian. And until next time, we'll see you.
Thanks so much for watching another Dice Tower video. If you enjoy our videos, subscribe to the channel for more fun, comprehensive board game coverage. Also, consider joining us at one of our events. Come to Dice Tower Retreat, a small, intimate gathering where gaming is king. Join us for Dice Tower Cruise, the largest board game cruise. Attend Dice Tower West in Las Vegas for gaming fun on the West Coast, or Dice Tower East in Orlando in sunny Florida. Dice Tower Conventions, the friendliest gaming conventions on Earth. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.